What's up? What's up, guys? How we doing? What's up, Imran? Spring Bonnie, how you doing, man? Salute, how you doing? How you doing? What communism mean? No private ownership, state ownership, everything. Yeah, how we doing? Hope we're doing good. Hope we're enjoying. What day is it today? Wednesday? Yes. How you doing, Alfie? Welcome back, man. I'm not gonna be live for too long. Just want to see what people are saying. Maybe have a couple debates. I'll never be English, but well, neither will my kids. But at what point do you think people can claim English? Well, I think it's an ethnicity, so it's kind of like either you are or you aren't. Either you have the ethnicity or you don't, as an overwhelming majority. So, weirdest rugby initiations. I've never seen a rugby initiation. I don't really know what that is, but I can't say that I'm into rugby. I've never really been into rugby. It's not really my thing. I prefer football. But actually, I have seen one. I've got a funny story about that. One time was, it's not really that funny, but I was playing football. This is when I was younger, but it was before the football game has started, and it was on a Sunday in November. So it was like we were doing a minute of silence before the game, and all of our team, we were young, so we were probably like, I don't know, 12, 13, something like that, and we were doing a minute of silence before the game, and just around the corner on this other pitch, there was this rugby, I think it was a rugby initiation. They were going, hoo, ha, hoo, ha, hoo, ha. And we all just like started laughing. Like we were like holding it in, but then we just all started laughing during the minute of silence. It was peak. It was unfortunate, but so that's probably that. Weird like kind of like monkey noises, I guess, or gorilla ape noises. I don't know. I kind of get it. It's like, I don't know, gearing people up, getting people ready, getting people in the zone, getting ready to like smash into people and stuff like that. But I don't know. Is what it is. Yep, that's what some clubs do. Yeah. How's it going? Yeah, it's going good. It's going good. You would have been in for a treat. Opinion on Welsh Health Ambassador. I did see that. I think the Welsh Health Ambassador actually sums up quite perfectly the state of the world. A Welsh health ambassador who is clearly not Welsh, a health ambassador that is clearly not a health guru or knows anything about health, and completely and utterly clueless, and just a complete and utter reverse or you should say inverse of what everything should be. The Welsh health, a Welsh health ambassador should be probably, I don't know, male or female, doesn't really matter, but definitely a white person, and one that is in good physical shape, and you can tell that they're in good physical shape, and they understand nutrition, and they understand what's going to get you, make you healthy and stuff like that. So literally the inverse of what it should be, and it just sums up society just completely backwards. But this is what I kind of go back to all the time, is that you kind of have to just laugh. Everything might be crazy and backwards and illogical and inverted, but it is funny. So I tweeted it. It's like your sex ed teacher being a raging homosexual, which is, I think, a pretty good comparison. So, or a transgender. So yeah, symbolic of our society, whether it's Wales or the United Kingdom or the West. So would you see me as British? I am 25% Celtic from Britannia and 25% English. Probably not. I don't know, man. Probably not. Maybe. Was on live with panel of leftists earlier, and they were actually advocating for demographic change. Yes, well, the left are supreme S-tier bootlickers of the establishment because they do the dirty work of them by advocating for these genocidal policies, and this is a infection of the mind where you wish to see your own people wiped out, and I don't think this is ever going to be solved. You know, it's kind of like, can you rehabilitate a lunatic? You know, maybe or maybe not, but it would take years and years of, you know, engineering of the mind. So these people need to be kind of like re-socially engineered. You know, does this happen with the kind of like trans ideology? It's kind of a similar thing, because those people advocate for the mutilation of children. So it's almost on the same level. In fact, you could say it is on the same level. And yeah, so are you pro-Israel? No. I'm not really. Am I pro-Israel, pro-Palestine? I'm more like anti-genocide. I'm anti-Zionism. You know, I would say I'm against Zionism, definitely. Zionism is, some people definitely, I'm not saying this, but some people might say that it's a cancer on the world. And so I'm against it for that reason, because it's definitely a cancer on our society. And I'm anti-Zionist, and I'm against any politician who's a Zionist also, because I don't think you can be a genuine and sincere politician if you are a, Zionist. So does it make you laugh when lefties call you a fascist or uneducated? I don't really get called that, to be honest, but you know, any of these terms, racist, they're meaningless. I don't really give them any weight. It's all about how much weight you give the term. If you give the term weight, then it's gonna, you know, have something over you. It's gonna have power over you. That's the only way it can have power over you, is if you give it the power, and if you show them that it's something that they can use to get to you. So try not to, you know, give it power. Fascism is the rejection. Well, there's a lot of different angles you could take with fascism, but one of the main parts of it is kind of authoritarianism and rejecting other ideas. And I think that is embodied by the left the most. So it's projection in a big way. And also, you know, as the previous commenter said, they advocate for demographic replacement. So they are also racist, and they are happy to see a certain demographic replaced and wiped out. So that is racist. That is racial hatred. And so again, this is kind of like an engineered mind poisoning of the mind. So does it make me laugh? No, it's not really make me laugh. It's kind of just it's sad. It's like yeah, okay, I'm sorry for you. I'm sorry for you that you have that way of thinking, you know. That means you're anti-Israel then. Yes. Long live Zionism. Okay. Reese, what is your take on the French Revolution? Well, I think the French Revolution was something quite symbolic, and it applies to this day, because, you know, the left and the right divide came from the French Revolution. And I think that if you look at the French Revolution, we're kind of like all leftists when you think about it, because we all want to take down the elite class, and we want to have, you know, regime change, if you like, of the elite class. You know, people talk about regime change all the time, but we never talk about the real regime that needs to come down, which is the global deep state regime. And so I think we can learn a lot of lessons from the French Revolution. I mean, is that what's necessary to have change in our society? Maybe. Not that anyone would advocate for violence or anything like that, but, you know, it's kind of, you know, when you look at it, you know, you don't know if you have any other options. Why do you care if someone's genetic background is different to yours? Well, it's not that I care about it. It's, you know, do you want your neighborhood, do you want your country to be full of people that are completely different to you? I would say most people don't. So, yeah. Angloid keeps dissing you. Yeah. Hey, okay, do you think World War III will kick off? Oh, we're already in World War III. We've been in World War III ever since Russia invaded Ukraine, or NATO invaded Russia, whatever way you want to look at it. So, yeah, we've already been in World War III for a long time. You know, our country is being invaded. America was being invaded. You know, there's war in the Middle East. China are going into Africa. There's all types of shit going down in Africa. The UAE, obviously, backed by Israel, colonizing Sudan and other places. So, World War III has been going on for a long time. AI is a war on humanity, I would say. So, yeah. My favorite historic leader, Sir Francis Drake. Probably. World War II never ended because the bad guys won. True. Completely different. Should be characterized by morals and values, not genetics. Yeah, but the morals and values a lot of the time are downstream from the genetics because people are genetically different. They have genetic dispositions or predispositions to, certain things. I hate you because you're different. Okay. Do you think that tourists are a problem to the UK? No, I think no, not tourists. That's not really what we're dealing with. We haven't really got that issue. Oh wait, now I know. Did you see my comment on your most recent post? Yes, that was really gay. It's not about genetic difference, it's cultural difference. It's both. The cultural difference comes from the genetic difference. I don't think it's a coincidence that you see similarities in culture around the world where the genetics are similar, because I think the culture is kind of downstream from the race. So, wait, I low-key didn't like you, but you don't remember what for. Okay. Do you think there are any measures to take down the establishment? Well, yeah, you have to get society to diagnose the problems correctly, but we're so far away from that. You have to, I don't want to say propagandize, but you have to socially engineer into the public what the true problems of society are. You have to replace the media. You have to, so the thing is though is that the more time goes by, like the more black-pilled I'm becoming. Especially when I see so many people who vote for reform. When you see so many people who are reform voters and are on the reform train and want to have reform in, it is blackpilling, because it's one thing to say, and people who like GB News as well, it's because it's one thing that people are understanding that we have an immigration problem, but it's another thing to think that leaving the ECHR, a court of human rights, and repealing our Human Rights Act is going to do anything to change that, because it isn't, because it's got nothing to do with that. So that's blackpilling. But yeah. Who are you voting for? Nobody. Oh yeah, and then then what's worse is like people go on to Advance UK. They which is backed by Tommy Robinson, who is a Mossad agent, Mossad asset, and it's like, damn, but like really, like we need to really be anti-Zionist here. Rupert Lowe is a Zionist, and people go and they like Rupert Lowe, and it's like, no, we really need to be anti-Zionist here. That's kind of one of the reasons what got us here. Was backing Israel, similar to America. America's government is Zionist controlled, so we need to move away from Zionism. We need to start looking at having sovereignty. How does one get sovereignty? That's kind of the main thing, is having sovereignty and understanding the sovereignty of each individual person, and gaining sovereignty over your own nation, because we don't have sovereignty of our nation, and neither does any of the European countries. Well, some of them you could say they do, but especially the Western European countries, and that's because they worship the religion of Zionism. I don't know if people would categorize it as a religion, but I would say it's a sort of secular religion. Qatar funded, okay. Blackpilling. The black pill is real, yeah. I saw Yay with Jess. We need a revolution in the USA. Yes, 9,000 from Qatar. Opinion about all the hate Morocco is getting after the AFCON. I don't know, I haven't seen it. Would you rather have 1 million Somalis, Indians, or Jews? That's a good question. Probably Indians. Honestly. I don't know, it depends on the... depends on the Jews, isn't it? Like, if it's like the Jews who have the side things, and they have the funny, they always wear the hats. Like, if it's like the proper, the radical Zionist Jews, But I probably, if it's like if it's, I don't know if you've ever seen Friday Night Dinner. You know what I mean? If any of you seen Friday Night Dinner, like if it's Jews like them, that's fine. You can take them. That's not a problem. They're basically the same as me and you, English, right? So, can you please provide the reasoning for why you say Rothschilds funded both sides of the war? Well, it's not just the Rothschilds; it's the American manufacturing companies that gave weapons to all sides of World War II, and so, I mean, I can make a video about it. I hate Reese's, the sweets. 2 million Pakistanis. How about 1 million Colombians? Nah. Do you think the West paints Russia as the enemy to ensure people don't wake up to the truth? No, I don't think that's exclusively the reason, because they need to keep the people in favor of this ethnic cleansing in Ukraine, and they also need to make it out like Ukraine is on their side, because when you have an enemy, the enemy of your enemy is your friend. So the enemy of Russia is Ukraine. So then you're saying, well, Ukraine is our friend. But Ukraine is obviously not our friend, and Zelensky is not our friend, and his advisors are not friendly to us, and they don't care about us, and they don't want to see what's best for us. So I think that one part of it is keeping people in fear, because you have to keep people with an enemy, right? You have to make sure that the public have always got this idea of an enemy in their head. And another is so that we're a little bit more tolerant, I guess, to the war constantly going on, because you could say, well, why don't we just allow Russia to take Ukraine? Well, because Russia's going to go and expand into Europe. So, and I think this is a similar situation in Palestine, because if people are propagandized to hate Muslims, which they are, then you're not really going to care about the ethnic cleansing of Muslims in Palestine, because you view them as the enemy, and so, yeah. 1 million Nicaraguans. Your uncle wants you. Your Orthodox doesn't equal Zionists. Yeah, true. Maybe. Can you please? Okay. I don't think that's a question you have to answer, fella. Imagine the smell. Okay. No, not all Indians. Look, I'm the last person to tell you not to generalize, but it's true that not all Indians, So, I do not watch the PMQs. I try not to watch propaganda or anything that's going to reduce my IQ, because, or just like be a mental strain on my head. So I don't watch the PMQs. I don't listen to politicians unless it's necessary. In fact, I really am trying to stay off X, because whenever I go on X, it's really just bad for the mental health, really bad for the mind. Sometimes I just prefer to live like in the real world. So, yeah. Would you rather be a Zio or a Nazi? I'd rather be a Nazi. Do you ever get bored of talking about the same thing every live? No. What's your IQ? Don't lie. Well, I've done 2 IQ tests before, and one of them was 131 and one of them was 134, but I don't think they were proper IQ tests, because I feel like that's a bit too high. I don't know, but yeah. Or maybe that's not high. I don't know. Reese watched Indian street food videos. 7,000 rupees. Farage is an agent of Israel. Well, I don't know if I'd go that far, but he is a Zionist. Would you rather... Okay. How was my PC background gay, Lamau? It was hard. Yeah, so if you think that background is hard, then I would say that is a little bit gay, because you're looking at like 5 or 6 dudes, at least 2 of them are gay. I mean, Justin Waller is like almost certainly homosexual. Clavicular and Nick Fuentes also. So, I'd say that's a little bit gay. Plus, Andrew Tate is a pimp, so if you idolize Andrew Tate, it's not really gay necessarily. It's kind of just beta as fuck. It's cucked. You're like a cuck, and being a cuck is pretty gay. So. A lot of Zionist bots spread Islamophobia and anti-West hate. That's true. Yep. Was it 6 mil or 271,000? Well, the chimneys were built after, so, you know, and, you know, was there actually any Zyklon B found in the gas chamber showers? You know, so probably closer to the latter number there. And by probably, I mean definitely. Russia doesn't want to colonize Europe, they just want the Soviet Union back. I don't know. I think everyone wants to be colonial. I think it's natural. I think it's normal and natural. Reese, would you become a dictator? Of course. Do you ever get... Okay. Reese for PM. Jeffrey Epstein should lead the United Kingdom. Okay. We are all more the same than we are different. Divide and conquer by the pedo mafia. I agree with that. The fan page is posting a video of you in 17 minutes, apparently. Nice. Ukraine is UK reign. Okay. Every nation wants power. Imperialism is the natural nature of a powerful nation. I agree. Do you ever get bored of... Okay. Get this man in charge. Divide and conquer. They're all playing for the same team. Is Rupert Lowe controlled as well? Well, I don't know for sure if Rupert Lowe is controlled because some people are just not very intelligent. But Rupert Lowe goes on about refusing Gazan refugees. And I just don't understand how you can refuse Gazan refugees but not call out the colonial expansionism of Israel. This is something that makes no logical sense whatsoever. Like, if your country, let's say hypothetically, we're being flooded with refugees from Afghanistan or Iraq or Syria and Libya and, Sudan maybe, or, other African countries or Palestine, then you might think, well, why are they being displaced? Why exactly are they being displaced? Don't get me wrong, like we take in a lot of immigrants from countries like Pakistan and India and Albania where there's no Zionist expansionism. But when we're taking in these refugees or asylum seekers from these countries that have been destabilized because of Israel and because of Zionism, a logical and sincere person thinks, why? Oh yeah, it's because of the colonial expansionism of Israel and the indiscriminate nature where they kind of just kill anybody because they view them as goyim and less than them and cattle. If you don't get there, then I do think that you're probably controlled opposition. Again, he might just be an idiot though, but what he has also said that we should support Israel any way we can. And he's also tacitly endorsed regime change in Iran. So, and Zionism is a big thing because, I don't think, I'm anti-Zionist. I'm big anti-Zionist. I'm against Zionism. Anyone who pushes Zionism, I'm against it, right? Because Zionism was allowed to happen because of our monarchy and obviously the Rothschilds and obviously the Balfour Declaration. And we have been propagandized into supporting them by not only the Jewish mainstream media, but you could also argue the Jewish alternative media. And so because of that, right, you need to extrapolate, right? Because it's not necessarily so surface level. Extrapolate. So we have been brainwashed into being pro-Zionism. People are eating up GB News, for example, and therefore they are revering false idols. So they look at people like Rupert Lowe, or they look at people like Tommy Robinson, or Ben Habib, or Nigel Farage, and they'll say, well, look, these people care about us, and these people have got our best interests at heart. And they think that because of the kind of vacuum that is social media and the mainstream media and their information which they're getting. Whereas if it was completely open and the dialogue, and the conversation was completely free, we might have mainstream news channels that were holding genuine conversations about why it is, firstly, that we support Israel when they've committed atrocities on our people, multiple atrocities, and secondly, we are being flooded with refugees as a result of their expansionism. So it's not just that we're being flooded with refugees, but it's also that our media is controlled and our idols, the people that are here to save us, are also controlled because they're at the behest of Zionism and they can't go against it. And they will keep funding it. And like Rupert Lowe says, we have to support them any way we can. Why? Actually, why? Can any right-wing mainstream politician or media personality give me a coherent reason why we should support Israel any way we can I'll wait. So, yeah. Reese lad, when are you going to realise politics is a complete and calculated scam? I have already realised that. I've already realised that. Maybe it doesn't sound like it. Maybe it doesn't sound like it. Reese, I got a beautiful Indian girl for you to marry. Okay, thank you. Refugees is because of capitalism. Okay. The 13 families wish New World Order seems inevitable at the moment. Well, I think it is inevitable. I do think it is inevitable. Exactly. We're not talking about digital ID anymore. Well, we can talk about digital ID, but I think digital ID is also inevitable. I don't know if digital ID will go through. I mean, I hope it doesn't, but their backtrack on it wasn't quite so what it was made out to be. So, Limfao, we had a debate on this in my politics class. Nice, that's good. Let me debate you. Yeah, for sure. Hold on. Colonialist expansionism and killing anyone they see as goyim for destroying Hamas. I don't know. Why can't Jews have their own state? They've been kicked out of like 100 countries. I think you answered your question in your question. They need to revere me. No, they need to revere me. If we've lost Nick, does this mean you're our new emperor? I don't think you should revere anybody though, because, you know, look, this isn't like, you know, you know, I mean, I'm not as good as him. Like, I'm just going to be honest, like, I'm nowhere near as good as him. But secondly, there needs to be a, you know, rather than everybody revering one person, it kind of needs to be more like everybody is that person. You know, everybody is doing the talking. Everybody is doing the information, doing the research, getting the information, putting it out there, doing the research, having the conversations. We're making media. We're making news channels. We're infiltrating, you know, YouTube, for example. We're hitting the main pages of YouTube with alternative media, like actually alternative media. People say, "Oh, we don't need any more podcasters." No, we do. We need a lot more podcasters. We need people who, or you know, people who are going to talk and make content, because everybody is susceptible, or at least the main people are susceptible to being completely bought and controlled. And the reason why you like your favorite influencer is because they're entertaining, most likely. They give you good information, but they're also entertaining. And so the more people that do it, the more likely you're going to see entertaining people, entertaining figures. And that's when you can get the media and get the information out there, because that's the number one thing. You have to diagnose these issues. I mean, the simulation goes very deep, according to some people, because obviously there's flat earthers and people think that, you know, there's an ice wall and there's like life beyond the ice wall. I don't think you need to go that far. I think what you need to realize is that we are not sovereign and we have no political solutions, and there is a new world order that is going to be digital ID, you know, smart cities. What were they calling it in America? What are they going to do in Greenland? Can't remember. Kind of like smart cities was it was basically the same thing. So, and then kind of like take back your sovereignty, you know, and have some kind of like peaceful revolution. But I just don't know. I don't know if this is possible. Going far in conspiracies is the only way to find the real truth, or somewhere close to the truth. Yeah, I hear that. Green these lands, fam. It's not a new world order. I think it is. Show off those biceps. No, I don't have any. Islam is a bigger problem than Zionism for Brits. Change my mind. Well, the reason why we have radical Islam in the UK is because of Zionism. So it's actually a precursor. So, yeah, you know, the reason why people also think that Islam is the biggest problem is also because of Zionists, like Tommy Robinson. 9/11 was Islamists or Israel? So, you conspiracy theorists are faux intellectuals. Okay? We need to all assume the colonialist motivation. I agree with that. Well, buddy, there is an ice wall. Maybe, I don't know. You know, I'm not going to deny that. You don't need more podcasts, you need more people in higher education. No, I don't agree with that. Or at least you need to change the higher education. Because the higher education is just pure indoctrination at this point. Podcasters are the lowest of the low in media sources. Yeah, but that's because of the podcast that you're looking at, though. That's because of the podcast that you're watching. You know what I mean? Like, you're watching, you know, we need more, like, you know, we need more Hugh Anthony and less Carl Benjamin. Do you know what I mean? Like, we need more, like that guy I followed earlier. What was that other guy? This guy is great. Honestly, there's some people that are like get really white pilling. I'm gonna tell you who I'm talking about. Yeah, this phone sucks. I'm gonna tell you we need more of. Delaware Realtor Zach. His at is Zachary Loft. More like people. I mean, he has 1.8 million. Maybe he's controlled, but from what I heard, seems pretty good. You know, so you need more people like that. More people who are organic. More people who are gonna go get the whiteboard and go crazy on the whiteboard. You know what I mean? So, buy a new phone with your TikTok money. That doesn't make much, bro. You know, Anglo was chatting shit about you on his live the other day. It's fine. Hugh is starting to fall off. Nah, I think he's great. I do. No, the thing is, I think Hugh is great. To be honest with you, I think that he slightly is in the, you know, right wing kind of you know, self-fulfilling loop of like pushing right-wing content, but I think those anti-Zionist voices that are sincere are necessary. What do you think about abortion and death penalty? We should have the death penalty and we should have a lot less abortion. Hugh Anthony is great. You're less Carl Benjamin, you're not a patriot. Carl Benjamin is an absolute shill. He's completely and utterly controlled opposition. I do not trust him for a second. Hugh Anthony is the Nick of the UK. My higher education doesn't even teach us about Palestine when learning about modern genocides. That's crazy. That is crazy. Okay, less Carl Look, listen, the reason why I say less Carl Benjamin is because he is a pipeline for reform. He is pushing people into reform. And also, he doesn't get anywhere near... He's so surface level. He's extremely, extremely surface level. And I do think he kind of blows with the wind as well. So, you know, maybe people like Carl Benjamin, but I think he's, you know, I don't. So... research like Romulus wrote green. Okay, me mum died in the Holly. You do need people in higher education. Every single person in power went to Russell Group Uni. I think that's kind of telling, isn't it? That's kind of the problem. I'm the new galactic emperor now. Yes, just obey women. Okay. Where's the link between Zionism and socialism? What do you think about research like Romulus? Okay. Okay. We have radical Islam because of liberalism. Wow. Okay. See, that's kind of what Carl Benjamin says. He says liberalism is the problem. And I think that liberalism is the gun. You know, it's kind of like blaming weapons for mass shootings in America. Liberalism is the gun. And there's someone shooting the gun. Someone is shooting the gun at Western civilization. A group of people is shooting the gun at Western civilization. The gun, you know, or you know, and the bullets being liberalism, or rather, the gun is liberalism, and then like bullets are like, you know, transgenderism, LGBT, you know, anyone can be British, and stuff like that. Reach, you need to buy Nick merch. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Stop! Stop! Stop. Stop. In Greenland, they want to practice their AI technology to track resources in the ground. I think that's possibly true. No, I don't like Advance UK. They're a Zionist party. What do you think about abortion? I've already answered that. Is it true you think waves are government made? Waves? I feel like your belief in a simulation sort of equates to the concept of God, though you're atheist. No, I kind of agree with that. Give the masses a holiday once a year and a new iPhone, they're happy. True. That Greenland thing is crazy. Hello from Is that Oh. Man, like. I've just seen that. Hello from Davos. The Larry Fink has just slipped me 10k and I'm now compromised. No, don't say that after I just said all of that. Don't say that. Don't say that after I said all of that, man. Fuck. Oh, back at the top. Oh, that was like, oh. Islam is far bigger. Is he? Oh, I don't even know if Hugh's still here. Is Hugh still here? Oh, I don't even know if he's still here. What's wrong with buying Nick merch? Well, firstly, he's Mexican. Secondly, he's homosexual. Thirdly, he's controlled opposition. Fourthly, he said that the problem with Epstein isn't the fact that he's a pedophile. Fifth, he's in favor of regime change in Venezuela. Sixth, he's probably in favor of Greenland. So stop listening to him. Okay, let's get someone on it. I'll get someone on in a sec. Do you think H had aura and was the Messiah? No. This Hitler thing is a psyop. They want you to revere Hitler. Do you know why? Because they want to say that, oh my god, everyone's becoming a Nazi. There's so much anti-Semitism. We need to crack down on it. Don't revere Hitler. Okay? Listen, let me tell you something, right? I'm not the most historically literate guy, but there are many other historical figures that you could revere that aren't Hitler, that are way cooler than Hitler, okay? Way better. Did way better things than Hitler, okay? Hitler was a puppet, okay? You don't want to revere Hitler. There are so many other, like Sir Francis Drake, like, I can't remember the guy's name, but the dude who fucking went to Australia and conquered it, I can't remember his name. I'm not historically literate. But there are so many others that you could revere. Don't revere fucking Hitler, man. Please. Bro genuinely has crazy potential if you're looking on El Maxing. Okay. Alright, let's get B on. B, you can come on now. This is going to be good.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. What would you like to talk about?
All right, so I know a little bit about you. My comrades have told me a little bit about you before I came out to debate you. So I know you're white suit, huh?
Your comrades?
Yeah, so I'm a Marxist-Leninist, and I'm 34 years old for the TikTok. But just kind of with it, I know you're a British white nationalist. Am I wrong?
White nationalist, maybe, yeah.
So you're
I
racist.
call it ethno-nationalist.
So you're racist then.
If you like.
Okay, so you do realize that Sikhs helped the British for most of its time
Yep.
during its
Well,
colonial
they did.
era?
They did contribute partially.
Like maybe like 60% of it.
I don't know about that, but I can understand what you're getting at.
Okay, so you do realize that there's people of color, Indians specifically, that helped Britain maintain itself. So you need people of color instead of kicking them out.
Well, if that's true, then I think that they should have quite functional societies of their own.
But because of Western capitalism and white supremacy, it can't happen.
So why don't they have their own colonialism?
Because of white supremacy and people like yourself who are
What?
perpetuating
Because
it.
white people are supreme? Is that what you're saying?
White people aren't supreme, but they do maintain colonial power among the
Why
black
is that?
people. Because they're racist and they're perpetuating white supremacy and colonialism and capitalism.
Okay, is this rage bait? Is this for real?
No, I'm being serious. Like, you are perpetuating white supremacy, and the fact of the matter is that you aren't going to do anything about it. Like, why don't you care?
Do you care about what?
that people of color helped build Britain up, that you're just not gonna care for them. You just want to
Oh,
kick them out.
I'm happy to admit that there was a small contribution from foreigners, but at the end of the day, we are importing so many people that our ethnicity is going to cease to exist. So we need to have a kind of pride about our ethnicity and our people and our race, and reduce the amount of immigration into this country.
Okay, but you do realize all the horrible things like white people have done to other places, and it never even allowed other ideas to flourish.
Well, I think that every race of people have done horrible things, and I'm not apologetic really, because I think that we've done a lot of good things, and are good. The things that white people have done positive in throughout history outweighs, or rather is much greater than what other races have done. You could argue.
That's not true. Like, if Africa was allowed to establish a communism right now, we'd be a lot better off.
Okay, but why don't they then?
Because of Western capitalism and the CIA and the British MI6.
Okay, so are you talking about like corruption in Africa is because
I'm
of
talking about white
supremacy?
supremacy from Britain and Keir Starmer.
Okay, so okay, this isn't real. This that no, you just gave it up there.
He's still
I'm
perpetuating
sorry.
capitalism. He's still perpetuating capitalism.
No,
which
you just
is
gave it
something
up when you just said Keir
Fuck, dude, I'm
Starmer.
sorry, dude. I'm sorry, bro. I love your content, bro. And I was hearing what you're saying earlier, bro. You really could pass him, bro. I'm serious. Fuentes, man. A lot of us look up to you. You're cool as shit. You're a young white
Okay,
dude and you're fucking ripped, dude. I'm looking up to you, man. It's good to see what you're gonna do later. For real.
okay. Thank you, but I appreciate it. Okay. I told you I called it. I called it immediately. I called it immediately. So you can't say I got fooled by that. You can't. You can't. You can't say I got fooled by that. I called it immediately. So, but it was still funny. That was good. It's good because the thing is, right, is that it's a somewhat of a good conversation to have if the person is genuinely curious and wants to get a different perspective, wants to kind of understand my perspective, why, you might come across as racist, even though it's not really racist to want to preserve your own demographic. But, is what it is. Like, the thing is, like, I'm pretty sure that guy's, I don't know, has he come up before? I don't know, but I appreciate it nonetheless, so thank you. Am I the only one who thinks the UK being Muslim is a good idea? No, I think that Reform UK also want the UK to be Muslim. I think that every Reform voter wants the UK to be Muslim. Muslim London mayor candidate who allegedly has some kind of dealings with housing illegal migrants in hotels. Muslim head of policy. Muslim donors. So I think that Reform UK as a party, the members, the voters would agree with you. Angloid, Angloid wants it to be a Muslim country because he wants to vote for Reform UK because he's Goyim. So, nah, he's all right. He's all right. He's all right. I love how B was it B, what was her name? No, not B. Bon. That was it. Bon. Bon gifted thinking that it wasn't rage bait. That's so funny. Do you feel like an idiot now? Oh, I feel sorry for you. Like, I almost wish I was as dumb as you sometimes, because it'd be blissful ignorance and everything would be so much better. But, low key, I wish I was a reform, but I wish I was like on that. I wish I had hope. I wish I was like thinking Nigel Farage was our savior. Like, that's kind of what level you're on. Yeah. Yes, Bon. Immigrants and build shit in Britain, Lamau. What's Goyim? Oh, don't worry. The rival claimants of Angloid and Reese. Nah, Angloid. I like Angloid, man. I can't beef Angloid. I like him, man. He's alright. Reform is just a slightly less far left version of the Tories. Completely agree, and Muslim also. Spoken like a true Green voter. Wow. Angloid with the rainbow. Maybe. Would you prefer absolutely no ethnic groups to be in the UK? No. Definitely not. Definitely not. The thing is, with the term cultural enrichment, right? Unironically, there is some weight to it because, at least from my experience, right? Maybe you don't want to hear this, but I think that there should be a good immigration policy. We should have people coming from all over the world. We should be somewhat have a little bit of cultural enrichment, a little bit, just a little. Not to the point where we're surrounded, but because otherwise, maybe it's because I don't think it would be the same. I think it's better. I got a group of friends. My friend group is like, there's loads of different ethnicities in my friend group from school, and people that I speak to now. So, and I prefer it like that. I think I'd rather it like that. Maybe you don't want to hear that, but Reese got the call. Do you think the UK is too far gone? I think the world is, honestly. America. Thoughts on the Russian nuclear tsunami weapon? I don't know if that's real. Following 88 people, I see you, bro. Respect. Not true reformer, stepping stone. Okay, reform on a stepping stone. Japan had hundreds of years of isolation even without trade and turned out fine though. No, I agree. I'm not saying. I'm not talking about trade. I'm talking about kind of community-wise, as a community. So yeah. It's good to have temporary visitors. That's how it's been for thousands of years. Well, not even temporary, even people who are, gonna live here. Because I think that where people have the radical viewpoint is where they live in echo chambers, right? So take a Steve Laws, for example, lives in Folkestone, and he's probably had very few interactions with foreign people. And then, maybe take a leftist who has grown up around and who's gone to university and has been surrounded by people of all different backgrounds and therefore has the opposite viewpoint, or someone who is, in a white kind of or an only white area and kind of has the opposite view of Steve Laws. I think where you're going to get the most nuanced point of view is someone who lives in an area where it's like majority white, but there are quite a lot of people from different backgrounds. Because then they are humanized. This is what a lot of people kind of don't really do, is humanize the immigrants, right? Particularly Steve Laws and a lot of people on the right wing, but then also the left wing, they don't really humanize their own people and their own race. I feel like they kind of lack it in that sense. And they don't humanize, for example, other things like people in the womb, and they're very pro-abortion. And so there's a bit of an echo chamber and there's a lack of nuance. So, yeah. W. Reese for not having blind racial hatred. Dehumanize illegal immigrants? No, not really, because those people are breaking into the country. If I met an illegal immigrant, it's like, okay, I kind of, I don't hate the guy, but it's like, you kind of like, you know what I mean? You're kind of like a bit of a dickhead. You're a bit of a dickhead for that, but especially if they're coming from France. But what is your ideal percentage of ethnically English people in England? 95. 95, 94, 93, 96, 97. I don't know. I'm a segregationist, not a racist. Bro, what? Just look at Dubai. It speaks volumes. Have I been shadow banned? I don't know. Okay. Do you think we should rejoin the EU? No, I think the EU should be abolished. Or at least recreated. Yeah, it's kind of like the monarchy. I think the monarchy should be abolished or recreated. You want it to be 100%? Okay. Based following. Thank you. What is your ideal percentage of ethnically English people? Oh, yeah, the thing is, my following was never actually public because it never allowed me to make it public. And then someone asked me, why is your following private? And I was like, oh yeah, maybe I'll try it again. So I tried it again. Thing is, with my following, you might have noticed, is that I do follow leftists, and that's because I do try practice what I preach a little bit with regard to not being in an echo chamber. You know, like Champagne Socialist. You know, I'm really not one of these people that will follow someone or not follow someone just because of one thing that they say. You know, if they're a coherent and articulate person, then I want to hear their point of view, even if I disagree with it. If anything, even more so, because then you're making your viewpoint rigorous, because you're having your viewpoint challenged, and your viewpoint is now more rigorous. So, can I be PM if my dad isn't British born? No. The world has too many folks, too much handouts. Bro's actually following 88 people. Is there am I missing some joke here? I don't even know. Thoughts on a matriarchy? Should never happen. If we all want some minorities because we have a friend, then you may as well open the floodgates. Not really. You just have a reasonable immigration policy. Why is your watch on the wrong hand? It's not. This is my left hand. How do I prove that to you? I can't. I think. I suppose if I hold this bottle up, you see that that's Volvic. See, from the right to the left, yeah, Volvic. So, but don't worry, I'm drinking out the copper. I'm drinking out the copper. Don't worry. Yeah. How could the individual help solve immigration? It's not all about immigration, man. It's about sovereignty. It's partly about immigration, but it's all about sovereignty. Sovereignty. So how big is it, Reese? Stop. How could the individual help? Can I be your head military general when you become PM? Sure. It's on the left side, so it must be your left. Yeah. It's supposed to be on the left, isn't it? Bro follows Apna J. Yeah, he's funny. I like Apna J. He's funny. I like his videos. His videos are good. UK is 70 million. 2% of the best immigrants. Is 1.4 million. Even that is too much. 1% is enough. Exactly. That's why I think 95% is pretty reasonable. You know, I grew up, as I say, I grew up around a lot of people who are of foreign backgrounds. So it's like, and so did my dad, by the way. So did my dad. My dad grew up. I'm not going to say where, but in his maths class, my dad was in top set maths, yeah, and in his maths class, he told me that he was the only white kid, and that's my dad. My dad is like 50, yeah, so you're talking 35 years ago, 36 years ago, that my dad was the only white kid in his top set maths class. That's crazy. And so, you know, that's kind of why also my views are not so ridiculously far right, because, you know, I have had it rigorously examined by my dad, because I have a lot of debates with my dad, especially previously. But he's kind of, my mum and dad are kind of coming around now, you know what I mean? I think most of the population are, because but before they would never really say anything that I would say, but now they kind of get it. Although, again, like my mum would tell me, I'm not even gonna go I'm not even gonna dig myself a hole, bro. Being an ethno-nationalist is far right as F, mate. No, I don't think it is far right. I don't think being a nationalist is far right, because you care about your country, and you care about the people in your country, and being an ethno-nationalist means you prioritize the ethnics, the traditional ethnics. And the thing is that maybe in a normal world, holy crap, maybe in a normal society where there isn't a replacement and there isn't mass immigration, this is radical. But because of the way things are going and the mass immigration, the ethno-nationalist position is by far the most coherent, and it's, if anything, centre-right. You know, far right is Steve Laws. That's like, I don't think Steve Laws would deny that. That's just true. So I think ethno-nationalism is easily the most coherent position, because you prioritize the ethnic group, because the ethnic group needs to be prioritized. You know, it's like that meme. Have you seen that meme where it's like the kid is drowning in the pool, and then there's like a parent with the other kid, and they're giving that kid all the attention. It's like our ethnicity's dying out here. You know what I mean? We're literally becoming extinct. So ethno-nationalism says, let's look at that. Let's give. Do you know what I'm saying? So, what if you found out your best friend in school was an illegal? Parents came illegally. Well, I think they should be deported. You know, I'm not gonna lie. So, what if you, okay, you don't prioritize women or girls? Well, I think that when you take sovereignty of your nation, that is prioritizing women and girls. Because prioritizing women and girls, the main thing is, I mean, maybe this is sexist and misogynistic, but is family. Because what does a woman or a girl derive the most pleasure from? Maybe I'm wrong, but I would probably say having a child. Maybe I'm wrong. So if you enable people to have children, women to have children and raise children, that's going to give them the most fulfillment. And you can do that by taking sovereignty back over your country, fixing your economy, preventing abortions. I don't think that's far right. When will we get a government that isn't right wing? Labour or radicals, mate? What if you found out your best friend in school wasn't... Oh, I already answered that. Didn't you say you would put an illegal child in a concentration camp? No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Have you heard about the reports of seafaring Northmen plundering the English coast last week? No. So your dad claims he was the only white kid in his school when he is 50 and from Surrey. No, he's not from Surrey, he's from London. My dad is from London. My mum is from Surrey. And they moved to Surrey. I'll tell you where my dad's from. He's from Brentford and then Hounslow. He grew up in Brentford and then Hounslow. Still white in London back then, not in Hounslow. Not in Hounslow, buddy. No, Brentford. You just said you won't say where your dad is from. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Do you think Nick is the political... Oh my god, Spring Bonnie, you need to be... Spring Bonnie, you're going to get deported at this rate, okay? Do you think Nick is the political messiah sent by God to save us? Because I do. Okay, how about you take his meat out of your mouth? Yeah? Why do we care about what people do with their bodies? What? That's an outdated mindset. What's your line of work? I'm a salesman. Is my line of work. Like, if I was to go into like professional work, I'd be a salesman. But kind of funny because I'm doing this now, you know. But currently I'm a delivery driver because sales is shit. Because like sales, I can do sales, you know. I'm happy to do it, but you know you're gonna struggle to find joy because I just can't be a slave like that. Like, I got a friend. He's from Mauritius. Actually, I was just speaking to him earlier. He's he's born here, but his parents are from Mauritius, and he works quite a good job. I don't know what his job is, but he's got quite a good job, and he has a uni degree. He has quite a good job. And I asked him, you know, how's your work going? And he said, well, I'm a corporate. He literally what he said was, I'm a corporate slave. That's what he said. He's like, yeah, I just wake up, long hours, like start early, finish late, go to bed, and come home, do nothing, go to bed, do the same thing. Corporate slave. And I was like, yeah, that's kind of just how it is, you know. And the thing is that I work for a retail outlet, and there is some positives in working for a retail outlet because of the people that you'll meet there, because you can meet some really good people. Some of them are crazy, don't get me wrong, but you can meet some really good people working in retail. So, you know, I quite like that element to it. So, and the job that I do, I enjoy it. Well, it's you know, it's reasonably enjoyable. So, you know, most people make their life from having a corporate job, but this generation doesn't want to work. But I don't think it's natural to be a corporate slave. You know, I don't think it's normal. I don't think it's innate. And I don't think it's part of human nature. You spend too much time alone. Do you go uni? No. Salespeople make good money. Makes sense, but you drive a van and deliver parcels. Not parcels, but something similar. The majority, 98% of China's population is Han. 2% Islamic Uyghurs, who were there centuries ago. I got a friend, Cap. The support from Muslims you get is very telling, mate. Yeah, I think it means I'm nuanced. It's because I'm anti-Zionist. That's why a lot of Muslims like me. You know, you could, and I've said this before, you know, I call for the banning of halal slaughter because of the amount of money that our farmers lose because of it, and because we need to disincentivize people from failing to integrate, and because of Muslim arbitration tribunals. But even Muslims will still, you know, show support because you're anti-Zionist, and that's what really matters, because it doesn't really matter about halal meat, because people are dying, children are dying, women are dying. No one really cares about how your meat is sliced when there's a genocide. So I think it's because I'm anti-Zionist. Risha, I haven't worked in sales since 2024. Let sales go. How do you even know that? No, but it's true. And the reason why I left sales is because I was ripping people off. You know, I was selling people solar panels and charging them a fortune and making good money, but they were getting ripped off. So it's like, why are you going to do that? Can't do it. So if I, white German guy, came to the UK illegally, you'd want to kick him out? Yes, definitely. Pakistan is lame. Why are we hating? Oh, I didn't hate. Deport me to Chicago. Cringe. So cringe. Why do lefties idolize Martin Luther King so much? I don't know. Do you value ethno-nationalism over economic meritocracy even in economic crisis? That's a good question. Well, I would say ethno-nationalism enables an economic meritocracy because because I think we've seen a lot of damage to the economy because of that, because of mass immigration. One sec. I'm just gonna pause the live a sec. Yeah, I can't find the light in this place. Oh, it's outside, that's why. Okay. What are we doing here, folks? What are we doing here? Yes, who remembers this? Who remembers this place? Huh? Alright, let's get some guests on now. Rishon, videos never miss. Thank you. Whose guitars? My dad's. My dad is an elite guitar player. Top tier. Top tier. Top tier. Of course you play good. No, it's my dad's. I don't play guitar. This is my dad's guitar. That's a piano. Can you see that? That's a piano. That's what my sister plays. And my mum also plays piano. Musical family. Let's come down a little. Reese, get a mic. The echo is crazy. No, there's nothing I can do about that. Nay, I can do about that, brother. All right, let's get some people on. Let's go for Nicholas. I am musical, Gracie. Come on now. Hello?
Yo,
Hello, mate. What would you like to talk about?
I just wanted to say that I am from Poland and it's 98% white and it's way too less, man. Like it's way too little. It's 98% white and you still see in bigger cities Indians everywhere.
Okay. So it needs to be 99?
99.5 at least.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
What can I ask what negative you're running into? Like what problems?
Yo, can you repeat that because it lagged? Yo,
Hello?
you paused the
Oh yeah,
stream, I
okay.
think.
What problem? Yeah, that was my bad. What problems are you running into with that?
You know, one of the problems is that they don't speak any Polish and they work as like taxi drivers. And when you try to get from one place to another, you can't communicate with them because they almost don't speak any Polish. And also, they are mostly on like they are not they are not hired. They work illegally, and
Oh really?
yeah, because people hire them because they are cheap, you know, labor. And there's you know, it's not a big problem because it's only like 1.5% or something like that, but they're still taking up some jobs that could go to you know, to Polish
How come?
people.
Why is it that they work illegally?
Just because they don't, I'm not sure how to say it, but they are not hired like so they, you know, the people who hire them don't have to pay taxes
Oh, I
from
see.
their
Yeah. Okay.
paycheck,
Yeah.
so it's cheaper. And like
Fair
they
enough.
don't speak any Polish and they even barely speak English. Also,
Fair
like,
enough.
what is with Reform UK, like just letting in all these Indian people and Muslims? Like, th- I think they're just rage baiting like people, their voters basically, because like I think this party is like half non-white or something like that.
For sure, and the donors as well, and a lot of them are former Tories, which is one of our old parties, which kind of oversaw the destruction of our country and mass immigration. And they've hired Robert Jenrick, who has a Jewish wife, who was the immigration minister when there was
Yeah.
lots of people coming over. So, yeah, the people who vote for reform are definitely brainwashed and propagandized. So,
It's
yeah.
like they are doing it on purpose to, like, you know, spit in people's mouth, you know. And also, I wanted to answer because someone said that Polish people are anywhere but Poland, and this is sadly kind of true. But I also don't support that. I think they should come back to their homeland. But you know, we are working at least, man. We are working, like we aren't on
Yeah.
welfare.
Yeah, true. No, that's true. And well, for the most part.
For the
And
most
yeah,
part,
I mean,
yeah.
I don't really see why. I don't really see why there's any reason to have these people up, except for greed, I guess, or corporate greed, businesses that just want to undercut the average person, the average person's wage and pay less. So
Yeah, I think maybe this is a little too much to say, but I think this is basically modern slavery. Like they work for like bullshit paychecks, and they're fine with that because it's still more than in India or Pakistan. And it's really funny that like leftists support that. Like people who claim to be like Marxist, they support mass migration, which is basically modern slavery used by big corporations to like basically have free working class, free working people. Like I think that's funny. That
yeah,
and they call
completely.
like terrorists and like fascists. They call us like capitalism in a crisis and stuff like that. Like they are the ones supporting big corporations, and and also like they say that there's this propaganda that capitalists say that people should be scared of illegal migrants, so like to destabilize, bro, I don't know how to say that, but to basically proletariat wouldn't work together because they're scared of illegal migrants. Like big businesses are the ones promoting illegal migration and mass migration, you know.
No, 100%. And it's kind of unbelievable that the leftists will be so in favor of mass migration, but then against corporate greed and against corporations having so much power. So, no, I completely
Yeah.
agree. But it's interesting that you say that 2% is still too much, because I kind of used to think that 95% was a little bit too much. As in, like, maybe you could be a bit more lenient, but, evidently not. I think that's interesting insight, definitely. And no, I appreciate that. And was there can you give me any other insight into Poland? Like any other kind of thing that a Westerner might want to hear?
So first of all, I think like Poland is romanticized a lot by like right-wing people, and in Western countries, it's not that good. Like obviously, it's far better than in the West, because like when you walk in like smaller cities, or even in some parts of bigger cities, you can see almost no non-white people at all. But it's like not ideal. And also like other government, it's pretty good, but it's really in favor of like of USA and imperialism, American imperialism, and like Donald Trump and stuff like that. So it's like not ideal. I think some people say some people view it as more perfect than it is.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, so it's not like the utopia that it's kind of made out to be in the
Yeah,
West.
yeah. It's not.
Is that
And we
why do
have
you think that is?
honestly, I don't know. Like, why isn't it that great as people say, or why people think that it is
No,
that
like
great?
why is it not? Yeah, why is it not better? Like, what's holding you back as a
I
country?
th- I think we don't really have like any political party in Poland that is like truly nationalist. We all have this like neoconservative pseudo nationalism that is like, but he's a legal migrant, you know. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
So they are in favoring like legal migration because it's legal, so it's all right to be replaced. But yeah,
I've
so
got another question for you, actually.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
Poland are in the ECHR, right?
Can you repeat?
Poland are in the ECHR, the European Court of Human Rights.
Oh, just to be honest, I'm not really sure. I'm not too knowledgeable about that.
Well, the thing is that they are right. So, and then reform in this country, they're running on leaving the ECHR, leaving the European Court of Human Rights, so that we can deal with immigration. But Poland are in the ECHR, and I don't really understand why we need to leave the ECHR. Could you give me any kind of insight?
Well, I don't know. Like, is this like some kind of organization that is for like LGBT rights and stuff like that, or I'm not really sure what that is.
Well, it's
I
for
can
that partially, yeah, partially, and also
I can look it up.
immigration cases. Yeah,
Mm,
immigration cases as well. So like you
okay.
don't have you ever heard about in Poland any disputes with the ECHR?
Yeah. Like our government that's a good thing. It's pretty independent from the EU. and they are like not given up. But yeah, for example, there's, I don't know if it is official yet, but they're planning to like pay for like Polish women, so they can fly out of Poland and get abortions, because it's illegal in Poland. So
Okay.
like European Union is trying to sponsor abortions for Polish women, and they're also trying to do similar thing with gay marriage, because it's also illegal in Poland. So they're trying to sponsor like so people can fly out of Poland, get married in like Czech Republic or something, and get back. You know. So
Wow. Okay.
they are pushing stuff like that, but our government is not giving up. That's a great thing, actually.
Is Dominic Tarczynski in your government at the moment?
I think he's in the parliament, but he doesn't have any like high place. But yeah, he's a funny guy. He blocks everyone on X.
Okay.
When
Yeah, fair
you
enough.
go to replies of his tweets, you know, it's all like AI generated photos of him with Netanyahu and stuff like that. It's really funny.
Okay, that's interesting. Do you think your government is Zionist occupied?
I think it's kind of is, but I think that our president at the moment, Karol Nawrocki, that he's trying to fight it a little bit. Like, for example, he didn't lit the Hanukkah, the menorah this year for the Hanukkah, you know, but like our like prime minister and stuff like that, yeah, he's lit up the Hanukkah and stuff like that. I think it is. I think it is a little bit, but not so crazy like in USA or anything like that.
Okay, so I wonder what is the reason then for all of the pro-Polish propaganda in the West, because it's certainly pervasive.
I think that it is, the reason is that, you know, it's not ideal, but it's really good in comparison, you know, comparing it to the West. And I think that it's maybe kind of like, you know, a light in the tunnel for people that a normal country, you know, is able to exist in modern world, and that countries like that exist.
Would you recommend someone from the West, someone from the UK moving to Poland if they spoke Polish?
I wouldn't, because I don't want non-Polish people here, but yeah, it's cool. It's if they are European, then yeah, they can come here. But
That is so based.
no
Okay.
disrespect, no disrespect to Brits, but y'all are kind of crazy in Poland. Like there's a lot of British people in Poland. They are coming here for like holidays and stuff, and they are always drunk and screaming like football chants and stuff like that. But they are pretty chill.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, fair play. Well, I understand, certainly. I think that's pretty reasonable. Well, fair play, man. Anything else you wanted to say?
No, that's all. Thank you. That was a good talk, you know.
Yeah, appreciate it. And definitely come back on another time. So, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I'm pretty, you know, I'm on your almost all your streams, so yeah.
Oh, appreciate it, man. Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
All right,
see you later, man.
Take it easy. See you later. Bro, W Nicholas, bro. That was hard. That was good. Bro, I love how he said, I said, do you recommend British people come to Poland? No. No. And he's like, yeah, it's not that good actually. You know, there's all this propaganda in the West make it seem so good. It's not that good. You know, I don't want you to come. That's so base, bro. I fuck with that. I fuck with that. Oh, that's good. Okay. If you can hear a dog barking, apologies. All right, someone who's requested, tell me what you want to debate, and we'll go for it. Remember when you wanted to immigrate to Poland because they had right immigration laws? Self-aware L, why does he squeak laugh? Stop judging. You're so judgmental. Reese, mate, 5% of 70 million UK population is 6.65 million. That is a lot of immigrants, way too much. 1% is 700,000 immigrants, enough. No, I hear that. I don't know if we're ever going to get there, though. That's what we kind of have to kind of accept. Are we ever going to get there? You know, are we going to have to get to a point where we just accept that we have to be reasonably culturally enriched and just keep the best ones, keep the best people? I don't know. But it's interesting when you put it like that, because when as I said before, you know, I think about 5%, and I think that maybe that's, or 95%, I think that's too high, but it's actually maybe not high enough. So, but the thing is that I live in Surrey. Surrey is like, I think 80% white, which is not enough. But I think of 95 when I think about Surrey. If it went up to 95, I think, yeah, I'd be fine with that, you know. But then, I don't know, you know, we're kind of just living in a dream world here. Yeah, for real. My respect to the Polish guy. 6.65 million people is literally half of Russian army's size. That is an insane number. True. Oh, one sec. Wait. Mum's putting the bins out. Mumsy's putting the bins out. Okay. If Poland had more wealth, it would be the same as Britain and France. It would have more immigrants. Yeah, that's probably true as well. Because the more greedy companies you have, maybe the more illegal labor, or illegal labor, or even legal foreign labor you have possible. Maybe it's like a catch-22. Holy shit, we got 34,000 likes. That's crazy. Appreciate that. Didn't even clock that. Thank you, everybody. My street is about 50-50. Oh. Make Britain great again. Wow. Anyone trying to debate here? You're welcome. I haven't liked once. Are you in a shed? Well, you could call it a shed. A glorified shed, yeah. It's certainly a glorified shed. Well, yeah. It's a wooden room. It's a reasonably spacious wooden room in a garden. So, and it's got a door, you know. But then again, when you think of shed, right? When you think of shed, do you think of an office? Because it's kind of an office, actually. It's more of an office, because this is like, or like a garden office, you could call it. Okay, one sec. Wait, okay. I'm getting griefed. Alright, whatever. I'd call that a shed, yeah, well, it identifies as an office, okay? It identifies as an office. It's a zoot room. No, it's not. 0 spliffs will be smoked in this room. So, that's not an office. It identifies as an office. My dad has an office shed. Nice. It's quite nice, you know. Has it got heating? It does. Look. It's got a little bit of heating. I mean, I'm not using the heating, but if you don't uphold that, then you're simply not British. I'd call that a shed. It identifies as an office. Shalom Studio, yeah. Studio. I can't say anything with filtered comments. The comments shouldn't be filtered. Alright. Culture. Is that a debate request? I must see what this person's saying. No. This could be the meeting place of your new society. It's kind of hard to scroll when I'm in here. Low IQ Pat waffling in the comments when they got conquered by a company from a tiny island. Okay. Comments are filtered, I think. Wait. Oh, here we go. Okay. I'm now unfiltering the comments. Okay, I'm now unfiltered the comments. Cool. Cool. Alright, you can say what you want now. I missed the Jewess Lydia. Well, Lydia is in the chat. Oh, she was. She is or she was. When are you debating Dean Withers? I think you've asked me that before and I don't have the clout for it. Did you eat your cat? Yes, how did you know? The only filtered word was your work. Yeah, no, but there's another setting for like rude words and stuff, which was on. But I think that's on by default. I'm not debating Dean Withers because I'm not clouted like that. To be honest, yeah. I would debate him though. I'd happily debate him. Although Dean Withers would probably do. I don't know. I don't know if I'd say he would beat me in the debate, but I think he would be quite a difficult debate, even if I do think he's wrong, because he's very good at it. He's very experienced, and I don't think he's quite a big dumbass like people think he is. I think he's actually smart. What's going on, Reese? Not much. Comments are filtered. Okay, we're back at the top. What is the West? Don't know. Please, you'd be easy. Thanks. Make his crash out like his anxiety pen. Oh, do you remember that? That was funny. That was funny. My anxiety pen? My anxiety pen? I have an anxiety pen. Is Corky an NPC? Oh my god, yes. Absolute personification of an NPC. If that's even that's kind of an oxymoron. But yeah. Oh, that would be awesome though. Lamau, to be British is to uphold our values and to assimilate. If you don't, then you're not a Brit. Well, I think British is an ethnicity, actually. Should Indonesia annex Australia? I don't think they could. One hell of a Jewish nose you got, Reese. Okay. That's uncalled for. That's not nice. I mean, it's not... You know what I mean? That's just rude. Come on now. Reese is too good at the zesty voice. Yeah. Well, it's because everyone on the internet is fucking homosexual. So all you hear are these gay theatre kids constantly. So it's kind of just, you know, gets drilled into your skull. Not like that. Am I beating the allegations? Thoughts on BLM? Total and utter scam. Only time I consider that term illegal. Bro, get out of the sauna. I'm not in a sauna. Hey, up, Reese, your peak for going live while I was at a six-a-side. Oh, sorry, man. Afghans aren't white. Sorry, mate. It's alright. I forgive you. I was replying to a comment. Oh. British isn't an ethnicity, it's a nationality. No, I view it as an ethnicity. And it's a both. Because what is a nationality? A nationality is a group of natives. Where does the term nationality come from? Why is it called nationality? Nativism. Do you read books at all? If so, any recommendations? I'm not the biggest reader, to be honest. I to be honest, that's what something that I need to change. You know, like I've promised Gracie and others that I'm going to start reading, and you know, reading these books that are going to blow my mind and stuff. So I should do that. You know, I should spend less time, you know, watching like Goy Slop on Netflix. Like literally, I was watching Friday night. Like I'm watching Friday Night Dinner on Netflix, which is literally a show about a Jewish family and the boys who come home to their mum and dad and they have Friday night dinner, rather than reading. I'm a goy. I'm sorry, I am a goy. I am a goy. Like, I'm not actually a Jew, so I eat the goy slop. But it does need to change. I need to stop using Netflix, stop watching the slop, start reading. It's true. So, but the thing is, right, is that some people read and read and read and read, right? Especially philosophers. They read a lot of philosophy and then they don't have any opinions of their own. Their opinions and what they believe is derived from philosophers. And I don't think that that's a good thing, because then you're just regurgitating ideas, you're recycling ideas that have already been thought of by other people. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that you shouldn't read philosophy, because you should, right? But I just think that some people, they read a lot of philosophy and then their whole worldview is just shaped by philosophers from like before. And I'm not saying that, like, you know, they're smart people, obviously, right? I'm not saying that you shouldn't read their shit, obviously. I'm just saying, like, sometimes I feel like you can get sucked in a little bit. And then history, right? And here's the thing about history, is that how do you even know it's real? How do you know history is even real? Because if you read a book about World War II, you're getting lied to, like real shit. Like, unless it's, you know, and then you might even read a revisionist World War II history book, and you don't even know if that's real either. You know, you might be reading a book, a scientific book about the shape of the Earth, and you don't even know if that's real. So, you know, it's like, I'm a bit schizophrenic like that. I'm a bit paranoid. It's like, I don't even know if what I'm reading here is even real. So, you know, it's like religious books as well. Same thing. The Bible or the Quran or the Talmud. You know, all of these stories, like, how do you know that they even happened? So, Reese. Torah, that's what I meant. Did you know a teacher was fired for getting students to play chess? It's haram, apparently. I didn't. Reese, are you neurodivergent? Probably. Reese, read Summa Theologica. Indoctrination finest format. Maybe. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Bro's so far left that he's far right, but then woke to be none. I mean, that's kind of true. Even if you don't know history is real or not, you have to know some facts, even if they are a lie. Yeah, but like, that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. You have to know some facts, even if they're a lie. Why? Why would you even need to know the fact if it might be a lie? Genuinely, I'm asking. Did you know? Okay. Because there's archaeologists and historians. Yeah, but like, okay, World War II historian tells you that 6 million Jews died. World War II, or historian tells you about the Titanic. That, you know, I don't know. Maybe I'm just a low IQ conspiracy theorist. Most likely that is the case. But it's like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. It's just like, I'm reading read a history book. It's like, I can't trust the history book, you know? I just... I've read Mein Kampf 4 times. Hi, I just discovered your page. Thank you for your work. No problem. Thank you for the comment. Nietzsche actually spoke about this, Lamau. Well, you know what's interesting about Nietzsche, right, is that I might be wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure that Nietzsche got into his university because of his dad. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong on that. Right? Again, maybe I sound like an idiot here, okay? I don't know. But Like, is that true? Like, Nietzsche is like revered as some like elite, philosopher, but isn't it true that he only got into his university because of his dad? I'm pretty sure that's true, right? So if that is true, then how seriously do you even take the guy? Like most men. So did Trump. Nietzsche speaks of this. My comments are still getting deleted. I don't know if that's true, but why would it matter anyway if his ideas were superior to others? That's what I'm saying. Maybe they weren't superior. I don't know. I mean, this is like a. I'm just digging myself a hole here, but it's like, you know what I'm saying. Okay, if the comments are still getting deleted, then there's nothing I can do about that. Should I get an America First tattoo? If you do that, I'll block you. Real shit. If you get an America First tattoo, I will block you. Physique check? No. So what though? Thus spoke Zaras. Okay. Opinions on Ted K. Bro, do you think Nick would sign my merch if I asked him? Oh my god. You do realise that Nick Fuentes went on a date with a cat boy, right? Do you know that? Do you know that he had like gay corn on his computer once and he blamed it on a Mossad hack? Thank you, Gracie. Do you know that he's Mexican? Do you know that he defends Jeffrey Epstein? Do you know these things? Because surely you don't. Surely you're not watching me, you know? Debate me. I don't think that's actually a good use of time. Is gay corn bad? Obviously. Sorry, mate, what did I just hear? That's what I'm saying. It wasn't a date. Stop the propaganda. Matriarchy is the natural order. I don't think that's right. Reese, you got a haircut? Yes. It's growing back though. Reese, UK politics is doomed? Yes. Thoughts on Greenland? I think I should run it. And Nietzsche thought Socrates was full of shit. I mean, that's kind of what I'm saying, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like sitting there, like, imagine if you were sitting in a room, like in this room where I'm sat right now. Like, because what we're doing here is basically brainstorming together. We're coming up with ideas, right? You know, you say something and, you know, it provokes me into a thought. I say something and it provokes you into a thought. And it's like a cycle of ideas and thoughts, right? And this is organic. This is new. Especially like me, because I don't read shit, right? So I'm like, I don't, you know. So it's like, all of these philosophers disagree, well, they don't all disagree with each other, but they all have disputes with one another. You know what I mean? And that's the same thing about historians as well. One historian's going to say, this guy's wrong. This guy's got no credibility. This guy's got no credibility. It's like, you know what I mean? So, and also prehistoric times as well. How the fuck do we know anything even about that? You know, it's kind of like, how actually know? I mean, I guess they can calculate it in some way, but like how? You know, I don't know. I'm just waffling. So, straight waffle. You know, I heard a flat earther say, I heard a flat earther say, is the sun really hot? He said, is the sun really hot? Because when you increase in altitude, it gets colder. I was like, brother. I was like, oh god. Just like I'm saying, like all these people have, you know what I mean? This is what so, you know, you gotta have your own ideas, right? I can't play guitar. You're questioning too much goy. Resume your Netflix binge. What policies would you want in place to make Britain great again? No weather manipulation. A currency that's backed by something real. You know, just like, I don't know, man. No weather, man. No fake weather. Why do you have a load? No, it's my dad's. They're my dad's guitars. FFS, not the weather manipulation. Weather manipulation is real. Weather manipulation is real. Higher wages for working people. Well, extrapolate that. What's going to happen after? Are you going to have an economic collapse? I'd remove the minimum wage. Maybe a controversial take here, but I would remove minimum wage because I think minimum wage is unnecessary. I would also probably start employing regulations to make it so that there's less foreign control over our country, like banks and corporations and stuff. What else? I mean, it's a good thing to brainstorm, I guess. There's got to be, the currency has to be backed by something. That's like one of the biggest things. You need to have some sort of, currency that actually has value, right? Because our currency has no value. It has nothing. I mean, it's literally nothing. And we're just slaves to paper. Like, bro, oh my God, don't even, mate. Yeah, anyway. No state-funded media. Like, the media is not none of it's state-funded. It's completely free market in the media. Deportations, obviously. I would say, oh yeah, I've got another controversial one, which is I would significantly reduce how much you can get on the NHS for free. Hear me out, right? We wouldn't need a free NHS, and we wouldn't need such a, we wouldn't need a health service that's so abundantly available if there was no weather manipulation and people were educated about what things were good to eat, and if family farms were subsidized, right? Because then you're going to be eating meat, you're going to be eating cows, yeah? Sorry, Elise, I know Elise worships the cow, it's fine. The Hindus are going to have to take one on the chin here, but we need to eat more steak, we need to eat more beef, right? More protein, more nutrient-dense food. And we need to also exercise more, incentivize people to exercise, maybe by subsidizing gyms and making them cheaper. So there is a much lower reliance on the NHS. Therefore, you can reduce taxes because that tax money no longer goes to the NHS because a lot more of it is privatized. And the reason it's privatized is because it's not as necessary. I would also make it so that there is no questionable vaccines getting administered at birth, because we know that there are questionable vaccines getting administered at birth. I actually know a girl, based female, by the way, because, you might be blackpilled sometimes, but I do know this woman who has a kid, and I was talking to her, and she's like, yeah, I'm anti-vax. My kid has no vaccines. I was like, I love that for you. I was like, bro, I fucking love that for you. Like, seriously. So, yeah, I would remove that, and people would just be healthier. Copper, right? We've lost copper in society. So, bring back copper. Bring back linen sheets in hospitals. Yeah? This is why the political debate is so backwards and pointless, because it's like, well, we need to have a public NHS or a private NHS. It's like, bro, we need to fix our bodies, like we're not all of us, but like we're all so obese, and we're lethargic, and we look at exercise like it's woke. It's like, bro, get on the blood clot treadmill. Understand that testosterone is necessary for men. What's going to boost your testosterone? Going to the gym and lifting weights, and then running and doing some cardio, eating steak, stuff like that. Subsidized family farms and etc. So like the NHS as well, like, because the NHS doesn't really begin with funding, or it's irrelevant. Funding in the NHS is irrelevant to fixing it. right? And whether or not you need foreigners in the NHS, irrelevant, right? Because you need to go to the root of the problem, which is the people and the health of the people. And so, yeah, so many things. And as Rule Britannia says, right, everything is inverted. And this is kind of what I say about the simulation, right? We live in a simulation. Everything is not only a lie, but inverted. So they'll tell you that not only should you not eat meat, so they'll say that not only is steak not healthy, but it's also unhealthy. It might kill you. It might give you cancer, right? It's actually criminal. That's criminal, bro. How do they even get away with this shit? Veganism, right? Veganism is popular, yeah? So, you know, eggs increase your cholesterol. No. Eggs are some of the best food you can eat. I eat so many eggs. I eat today I had 6 eggs. I probably have like 3 on average per day. So you're looking at like 21 per week, yeah? You know, eat eggs. Like people say, oh my God, I'm not stopping. People say cholesterol is needed, exactly. People say, Reese, what's your skincare routine, right? And I'm not gassing myself up here. I'm not, right? But they say, what's your skincare routine? And I say, I use 0 skincare products. It's about what you eat. The skin is the largest or the second largest organ in your body. So eat well, and then your skin will be better. I mean, I do also use supplementation. I also use supplements for my hair. But, you know, and then educate people about supplements as well, because we have supplements, right? So what supplements are good for you? What supplements are bad? Well, there's not really any supplements that are bad, but what supplements might you need the most? What, you know, take a look at your diet and what supplements would you need? What supplements do you not need? You know, so... I ate Goislop today, forgive me, Lord Gotis. That's why it's bouncy. Oh my God. Reese, get me up. Reese, get me and Johnny up, mush. Don't talk to me like that. Eat clean, feel good. Exactly. Hold on. And your hair is pretty. Thank you. Candace Owens is also inverted. Yeah, she might be a dude. Maybe. Natural medicines are good, so they replaced them with lab chemicals and called it science. So true. You're funded by Qatar. Okay, if you're gonna say I'm funded by Qatar, at least spell it correctly. You've used the incorrect "you're" there. You've missed out the apostrophe and the E. Okay, this is the most third world shit I've ever seen. Deported, get out. Okay, speak English correctly. Most actors in Hollywood are inverted. Males are actually females. Females are males. I'm willing to believe that. I put eggs. Okay. How much is Qatar paying you? Well, that's actually coherent English. So, yeah, nothing. Mackerel and any fish is great. True, yes. They found it's the vegetable oil you fry eggs with. True, that's so true. Like my brother, I love my brother, right? I like my brother, he's a good guy, right? But my brother does my head in because I'll be making eggs with butter and he's doing it with blood clot vegetable oil and it's like, D-ski, what are you doing? But no, do you know what though? My brother, right, is like, you know, I'll do a live with my brother one time. I definitely will, right? Because my brother, like a year ago, was like so far away from like me and what we think in this chat, right? But now he's getting there. There's signs, you know what I mean? Like there's early warning signs. I'm not gonna say what they are, right? You know, I'm not gonna say what they are. Think about it, but I'm just saying that there's signs, right? And I did say this to him. I said it to him like a few months ago. So I was looking at his YouTube recommended, and I said to him, you know what? You're like on the verge of being radicalized politically, and he was like, do you reckon? I was like, yeah. So, like, trust me, he'll come around soon. Maybe he's already come around. I don't know. I haven't asked him, but you know, don't say blood clot. That's a bit too proud. We know exactly what you're talking about. I'm also red-pilling my brother. You've gone so right-wing, you've become anti-capitalist. I don't know. I spend 5 hours edging before my prostate exam. I want you, thanks. Hate us, but use our words. I don't hate Jamaicans. I don't hate groups of people. apart from the elite that run society, I do hate those people for sure, 100. But like any regular person, I don't hate them, definitely not, unless they're committing heinous crimes. But it's like, hatred on the basis of someone's skin or like on the basis of someone's culture, on the basis of someone's where they're from, is kind of borderline psychopathic, actually. Like, I feel like this is why the term racism has no weight to it, because actual racism is like borderline psychopathic, because it's like, do you know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong, it's like generalizations sometimes are necessary in life. Would you trust a fat guy with your donuts? Probably not. Would you allow your daughter into an Uber with a you-know-who? Probably not. But it's like, do you have genuine racial hatred for whole groups? No, that's borderline psychopathic, right? Pattern recognition is, don't be a psychopath, but also have pattern recognition. That's what I say, right? Find the nuance. And use blood clot. I'll talk about blood clot, whatever. Why is it that I can't be culturally enriched and, use the... Okay, I'm just LARPing at this point. Okay, I'll get you up, Johnny. 1 second, man. Let me just see what these comments are saying. No, I'm genuine. Okay. What are you saying, Stewie? How you doing? Good to see Stewie back. Man, like, racism is weird for real. Yeah, me and Stewie, we love Polish. We love the Polish. Me and Stewie fuck with the Polish. Trust. What's your job? Ferg the PT. Yeah! Yes. Come on. I got 2 homies in the chat. We do not love the Polish. Okay. All right, I'm getting Johnny up now. I hope Ferg the PT and Stewie stay in the chat for a bit, please. Hello, Johnny. What would you like to talk about?
Just want to pull you off on a couple of things. So first off, you said the skin is the second largest organ in the body. I'm cute. No. You said it was the second largest.
I said the largest or the second largest?
I'm curious to think what you think the largest organ in the body is.
It's the skin.
What's after the skin?
I don't know. I don't know, man.
All right. I don't actually want to talk to you, like, not in a rude way, but can you get up? Shall not be known, please.
Yes.
He's got a blue profile picture.
Yeah, I'll go in.
All right. Cheers.
Are you going back down there?
No, I'll stay up and I'll drop if it's...
I've invited him, but he's not coming up.
He will.
Is this Elise on her second account?
No.
Yo, Mush, we got a couple questions for you.
Okay, sweet.
So first of all, what's your thoughts on the Bradistani occupation of England?
I think that it shouldn't happen. I think that they should be remigrated, a lot of them.
Well, some might call that point of view far right, and I think you should be dealt with, because at the end of the day, the chosen people are here, and we have the right.
Can you make it at least a little bit convincing that it's not like...
Goy, calm down. I want you to know, right, that it is inevitable for races to mix, and once it occurs, the chosen people will reclaim this land.
The chosen people being the Pakistanis?
Well, they're just the weapons for the mass destruction.
So the Jews?
Oh,
No.
yeah.
Reese, you actually have a Jewish nose. Can we just get a side profile check real quick?
Sorry, what?
Boy, after all.
Reese, you have a Jewish nose. Prove you don't
Actually,
have...
no, it's actually a Roman
No,
nose.
it's not. Look to the
Roman.
side. Show us.
Okay, the reason my nose is like this is because I injured it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, classic.
Sure. Is that why you got a kipper in the background as well?
Oy vey, what's going on there?
Okay, what is this?
It's interrogation.
This is my boy Lavadar. We're both members of the Muslim Brotherhood, and yeah, we want to restore the
So-
state of Bradistan.
Do you agree Bradistan has a right to independence?
Thank you, Stewie. Appreciate you, man. No, Badistan should go
Then
and cease
why?
to exist.
Then why in the United Nations Charter, right, does it say we have the right to self-determination? Why is it there? Our ethnic group has been there for 3 generations. We have the right to declare independence.
Sorry, who gave the right?
The Muslim Brotherhood.
The Muslim Brotherhood should be deported also.
Wow! I'm shocked that you can openly say that on this platform without being cancelled, because the matter of fact is our ethnic group has been here for 3 generations.
Yeah, but it doesn't really matter if you're trying to have Badistan. You know, you need to be deported if that's the case.
But you
Please,
said
sir.
you didn't want to leave the ECHR. The ECHR says we have a right to self-determination.
Okay.
Exactly. So you're going against your own words, which means you're a
So the
hypocrite.
Muslim Reform Party is gonna go leave
No,
the
no, no,
ECHR
not
so that they can
reform,
deport
no.
the
Sir
Muslims.
Sadiq Khan, when he deposes Keir Starmer, so I can. And after that, the GB News is going to cry about it for a couple months. We're going to use that to the advantage and take over Bradistan.
Okay.
RS3 Lambert. Can I just sing the Bradistani national anthem for you?
Yes.
Oi, 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 I'm a Bradford boy. Oi, 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 I'm a Bradford boy. Born and raised in Bradford. Chill in the streets in Bradford. Thank you.
Okay. Epic.
Yo, our mission's done here, Lavadar. Let's go somewhere else.
Yeah, you've been dealt with. Make
Well,
sure
good
to
to
keep
see
your
you.
words clean next time. Thank you.
Also,
I'll do what I
Reese,
like. You'll get
I best not
you'll
catch
get
you cooking
deported.
on a Teflon pan.
What?
You were moaning about vegetable oil. I bet you cook on a Teflon pan,
I
don't
cook
you?
on a stainless steel, actually.
Ooh, Bob. How was work?
Okay, that's great.
How was work? How was desk?
I'm not. I have been not working this week. You've been dealt with. Yeah. I wonder why. Okay, let's just assume that it wasn't rage bait. They wonder why we want to deport them. It's like they talk to us like this. It's like, come on, bro. I'm like, leave. Like, okay. Like, imagine a homeless guy comes into your house and starts complaining about the fucking comfiness of the sofa. It's like, bro, deport. My job is a delivery driver. I deliver groceries, people's shopping. It's good. I'm not telling you the company. Company's off limits. I'm not allowed to talk about that. But, yeah. Mate, how do you listen to these people? Nah, Stewie, I think they're low-key rage baiting. But to be fair, someone earlier... Oh, no, the guy earlier was rage baiting as well. But I do enjoy debating leftists. But the thing is, I don't really get leftists that come to debate me now, or Muslims or anything. I used to have it all the time. I don't know what happened. I used to get these people all the time. Muslims or, you know, foreign people come to debate me. Obviously, there was Bellissima the other day. You know, Bellissima, but Bellissima's just like low-key got a crush on me. Like I'm not even trying to gas myself up, but she's just like twiddling her hair the whole time whilst we're talking, like high key. So it's like all these women, like it's all the, you know what I mean? And then fucking, you know, what's her name? Sarah. Sarah's like, oh, so you're a changed man now because you're against reform. It's like, no. And then she doesn't want to debate me. Game's the game. Yeah. Would you do Melissa? Be honest. What? I got 19% left on this phone, so we're going for it. When you's getting married, I don't know. Why is bro lying? Stop LARPing about how clouds are fake. It's not a LARP. The clouds are fake. The weather is manipulated. It's called stratospheric aerosol injection, cloud seeding, fucking solar geoengineering, Bill Gates. Bro, oh my god, Rupert Lowe, oh my god, I despise this shit. Rupert Lowe, they announce, right, that they're going to start dimming the sun. Rupert Lowe goes, I'm going to question this. I don't know why they want to dim the sun. They've been doing it for fucking years, bro. Hey there, I'm Rupert Lowe. I'm going to say to them, why are you going to dim the sun? Why are you planning on dimming the sun? Hey, buddy, hey, granddad, hey, old man. They've been doing it for fucking years. This account, or the Christian thing, is definitely over the age of 30. And if you're not, I've got nothing for you. I know what company you work for. No, you don't. Nick Moggs, Rupert Lowe. They're all fake. Years. They have been. They've been in it for years. What are your future plans? I want to be in the media. Oh my God, Sarah's here. There's no way. I want to be in the media. I want to be in the media. Yes. I'm a theatre kid. My bad. I'm a zesty theatre kid. No, but for real though, I do want to be in the media because the media needs to change. The media needs to be organic. It needs to be anti-Zionist. It needs to be ethno-nationalist. You get me? Who is Sarah? Sarah's my leftist homie. In the media doing what? In the media, like being a journalist, like doing street interviews and stuff. You know? The thing is, I could like... Oh no, let's not even go there. You should get Nick's haircut. I got it done at the barber's. You're not real. This isn't even real. I don't even believe you. Decade me. Debate me? You haven't requested to join, buddy. He works for Smiggles. Yes, I do, as I work with you. Oh, wait, is this... Wait. No way, is this... Is that actually Adam? Is that actually Adam for real? Is that Adam for real? Oh, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Adam, I miss you, man. I haven't seen you in ages. I really miss you. Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good. Yeah, I hope you're doing good, man. Hope work's good. I hope you enjoy, Adam, I hope you're enjoying the fake weather at work, everything, yeah. Bro went to his barber shop and showed a pic of Nick Fuentes. Reese, I know you have a crush on Sarah. Nah. Nah. Reese, get the Russian tart up. What, you mean Sarah? Sarah, see, Sarah's not requested. She's too scared. Reese, I'm behind the weather manipulation. Stop. What if someone chimps out on you? Homie, we're losing it. Yeah. Is Adam based? Yeah, he is based. He's good. He's he's funny. He's so funny. He's so funny. He's so funny. Get the Russian tart up already. Debate me, then kiss me after. Okay. Now, like, that, but to be honest with you, that's what I was saying earlier. I was saying, you know, in retail, you can meet some good people. Like, you meet really good people. And, like, funny people. Like, people who have got a story to tell you. Like, some crazy shit. Like, that you've never even heard before. You can never hear it in a corporate office. You go to a corporate office, it's full of all these snot-nosed uni students who haven't had any hardship in their life whatsoever. You go work in retail and it's full of real ass people, bro, with stories to tell. They're like fucking funny. They're like, you know, if their life had gone a different way, they would have been a full-time comedian or some shit. You know what I mean? That's not even glazed. That's just real. Why wouldn't you want Nick's haircut? He's a very good-looking guy. Block me. Dude, can I support Europe even though I'm not European, I'm American? I think you have your own issues. But yeah, you can. For sure. You know, you have a lunatic president. I'm not going to lie to you. So you should probably sort that out. You've got a lunatic president who might cancel your elections. Do you know what's so crazy? Is that all of the right wing in this country we're bugging out about Keir Starmer cancelling the elections, or, you know, local councils cancelling the elections. And then they're going to go ahead and back Trump when he does the exact same thing. Watch it. Trust me. What is wrong with kissing your debate bros? Race mixed with Sarah. Reese, would you let Sarah hit if she protests against weather? Oh, would I let Sarah hit? Isn't it supposed to be the other way around? No, I'm joking. The answer is no. Is that a shed? No, it identifies as an office. Polish people are the chosen ones. Big Yahoo is Polish. True. Oh, maybe that's why they allow Poland. Because, oh my god, it makes sense. It all makes sense now. They ethnically cleanse Ukraine of white Christians, and then they allow Poland to stay majority white and a civilized society because it's where the chosen people are really from. That's a new conspiracy theory. Weren't you pro Fuentes a few months ago? What changed? Well, I wouldn't say I was pro... Well, yeah, I gave him credit for his show that he did on Tucker Carlson, because that was just a fantastic show. That was just a monumental bit of work. Like, let's just be honest here. You know, whether or not he's a homosexual Mexican Fed, that show was legendary. And so I thought I would praise him for that. But then I'll also criticize him because he's showing some questionable colours right now. So, But maybe I was jumping on his meat a bit too quick. That's probably true. Are you from London? I'm not. Near London. Are all your co-workers with a story to tell all nationalists? I don't know. I haven't asked them. Why wouldn't you want Nick's haircut? I already saw that. Yeah, block me. It all makes sense now. That's what my patients say in the psych ward. Yeah, Spring Bonnie's just gay, which is fine, but yeah. But y'all in Europe are worse, Lamal. You got Muslims and Africans. Okay, who's gonna tell him? Who's gonna tell him? Nick is funded by the Muslim Brotherhood there, but you're saying that with a star in your profile. Except maybe like fossil fuels. So I'm speaking English over here, okay? What is... Sorry. Except maybe like fossil fuels, that isn't a coherent sentence. That doesn't make any sense. I know you're foreign, you're Russian and whatever, Iranian. Okay, fine. But let's try and be a bit more coherent here, okay? I've been saying that for years, Nicholas. Well, that's interesting. Poland has a large Jewish population. Interesting. Well, yeah, love your content, brother. Watching you a lot at the moment. Appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, I've been saying this, Lamal. Okay, the Polish guy agrees with me. The Polish guy agrees with my conspiracy theory, and he's based. Nicholas, I should have called him Nicholas. just Nicholas, the Polish guy. Sorry, that's my bad. I'm dehumanizing you a little there, low key. All right, let's get this girl on. I reckon she's going to give me a good little convo. Never mind, she's despawned. She's lagged out the map. That's great. Reese wants me deported. What do you mean? Yes, you're going home. You're going home to Russia. Hey, Reese, has your stalker been leaving you alone? My stalker? I don't have a stalker. I don't think I have a stalker. Maybe I do. I don't think so, though. Reese, the sexual tension between you and Sarah is crazy. When you're Prime Minister, can I be one of the few Asians to stay? If you're not on benefits. Are you on benefits? Nick just fills my interests politically and he satisfies me. Oh my god. Oh my god. Reese, the sexual... Okay. When Tucker tried getting Piers to say the F word, it won't let me comment the word. Yes. I wasn't talking to you. Okay, there's no need for that attitude. No need for that attitude, lady. Reese, how many pints before you crack Sarah? I'm more of a wine guy. Probably 1.5 glasses. 1.5 medium glasses. Let's just call it half a bottle of wine. Ops on Zach Polanski. Well, I think Zach Polanski is a homosexual vegan theatre kid who is desperate for fame. I think that's the most reasonable take on Zach Polanski. You know, people will say he's a left-wing lunatic, he's got all these crazy policies. It's like, okay, he's just a gay guy who wants to be famous. And he's a Jew also. But, do you know what I'm saying? Reese, get some tarts up. Bro, no. I'm actually scared. I'm just joking. I'm just joking about the whole... I'm just playing in... you know what I mean? I'm just... You know, I'm entertaining you here, okay? I'm one of the only heterosexual nationalists in the UK, okay? I've got to entertain you, right? Come on now. You know, I'm no HS Tiki-Toki finishing me, okay? Oh, cow worshippers requested. Oh, Sarah's also requested. All right, let's just get Sarah. Isn't a rabbi what you get? What's funny?
Sorry. Have you ever had...
Oh,
Okay, wait, actually, no, serious now. Stop.
I don't date Iranians, okay? So you can get that off the table immediately. Bro, her laugh. Her laugh would do my head.
Who said you were
in, bro.
an option?
Her laugh would do my... I can't deal with this laugh.
Reese, who said you were an option?
Huh?
Who said you were an option? Because I join your lives every now and then, have a little bit of a giggle, laugh about Bill Gates.
No, I'm not
Bill
looking,
Gates controlling the weather.
Listen, I'm not looking for a new girlfriend, okay?
What am I supposed to do about that?
I don't know. You requested to join. What do you want to talk about?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say something. Oh, you know, what's it called? I was like literally scrolling right on my For You page, and then I see your live as you're talking about me. Why are you lying and saying that I don't want to debate you? I wasn't even trying to debate. I was literally just asking what went not what went wrong, but if you changed or not.
Yeah, because you assumed that I became a leftist because I was against reform.
Okay, and then that's it. Then you said I don't why. Why'd you have to make me seem like some chicken?
Because then you didn't challenge me on my views. You didn't debate me. You didn't say, well, why is immigration bad and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
You
I
just
did.
went-
I remember I was like, oh, well, I tried. My efforts in trying to turn you woke. It didn't
Yeah, but
work.
it was nothing. It was pathetic. It was futile.
You said I sound like an autistic child, so I didn't have much confidence in myself.
What did I say?
You said I was in a not funny.
An acoustic child.
Oh yeah.
Well, maybe.
No, you did.
mean,
Don't worry. No,
Your
you
laugh
did.
is giving raging autist, but you know.
Excuse me.
I'm joking.
Yeah, but what if I said you look like someone with double chromosomes? Do you know how rude that is?
Well, that's fine. You know, I'm secure, so.
Okay, that's it. It was literally just that.
Okay.
I don't know how to leave. Can you do it for me, please?
Yeah. Why does she laugh yeah? Have you seen that video of the guy who's like, yeah? That's how she laughs. I couldn't, mate. That would do my fucking head in. Seriously. So. Oh. Reese, girls get hella pressed when you make fun of their laugh. Okay, but I'm valid for making fun of her laugh, though. Come on, that's you know. That's like making fun of Lizzo for her weight. That's valid. She's huge. You know, her laugh is. Maybe it's. I don't know. I'm just trolling. I took my request back because you called me a cow worshipper. I don't like that very much. Well, that just sounds like you're insecure. Reese, would you crack you out? Okay. Tension is huge. Reese, get New York boy DJ up for a speed date. Reese is the acoustic one. Reese, get... Okay. Asperger's. Bro's projecting. Reese, if Johnny and your dad were the last two men on earth, who you... Oh my god, what is wrong with you? You're disgusting. You are you're vermin. You are vile. What the fuck? Can I get up and debate Sarah on the Anne Frank diary? Reese, I got the hotel ready as you asked. You can go. I put perfumes too. It's okay. I'm not looking for another girlfriend. You're 24, you might want to reconsider that. It's not because I don't want a girlfriend, it's because I don't need another girlfriend. Or another, I'm not trying to talk to another girl. Reese, can we hold hands? No. She wants you, big dog. Big dog. She is Jewish too. No, she isn't. You're 24, holy unk. Yes. Now you aren't just unemployed, but live in a shed. Yes. Reese, if Sarah and Elise... Oh my god. If Sarah... Actually, no, I'm not answering that. Where do you get your research from? I do all sorts, really. All sorts of sources. Internet is the main one. Oh, it's always something with you. Now you aren't just unemployed, but live in a shed. Okay. Reese, do you think Nick is the next step in human evolution? Oh my god. What am I dealing with here? Vote green to destroy democracy. Answer. But you said you were going to Mars with me. I will go to Mars with you. If you like. Reese. Holy shit. Do you think... Oh my god, stop asking me about your fucking homosexual boyfriend. Hi, white chocolate. Hi. Reese, if Sarah and Elise were the last two women on Earth, who are you producing with? Obviously... Well, Elise is like... I don't even know how old Sarah is, to be honest with you. I'm not answering these questions, okay? Stop. I wasn't going to say Sarah. For anyone who's going to say, I was going to say Sarah. I wasn't. Reese, if Alfie and Rule Britannia were the last two women on Earth, who are you producing with? Chat wow tonight. Yeah. All sorts of sources equals Twitter. No, I try not to use Twitter because it's a propaganda outlet, propaganda network. He was going to say Sarah. Reese, do you agree with me that Nicholas Fuentes isn't white? Yes. When is your birthday? It's in July. Do you have a gaming PC? Yes, but it's kind of broken. If your dad was behind you but Trump was in front of you, are we okay? Like, what's going on today? What's going on today? Reese, if Alfie and Reese Mod were the last... Isn't he with that Amira girl? Would you reproduce with Hugh or Angloid? Oh my god. Nick Fuentes is a white supremacist, but he isn't white. True. Who lobbies British politicians the most, and how do they do it? I would say it's the big corporations, and they do it via donations to the party. No, okay, the answer would have been... Okay, Elise is allegedly... not white. But then again, neither is Sarah, because she's half Iranian. Okay, I don't know what... Elise allegedly is like... I'm pretty sure Elise is like a Hindu... cow worshipping brown person. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But just for the hypothetical situation, we'll just assume that that's true. She's also 17. I'm pretty sure Sarah is like over the age of 18, half Russian, which is decent, and also half Iranian, which is Persian, whatever. So logically speaking, you're gonna go with Sarah. But this is a hypothetical that isn't gonna happen, and I'm not. Listen, I'm not HS Tiki Toki. Okay, keep this away from me. Only heterosexual nationalists in the UK, and what, this is how you treat me? Okay, fine, whatever. Can't deal with this. Reese, can we do a 2v2 scrap? Me and you v Young Bob and Tommy Robinson. Bro's gone for the ethical Clark. I don't worship cows. Sarah's 13. No, she's not. She's half Aryan. Reese, if Amira and Suella Braverman were the last two women, I'm not answering any more of these questions. Reese, can we do a 2v2? Okay. Iranians are Persian, they're cool, yeah. Which July is your birthday? I'm not going to say the exact date just for security reasons. I've got 11% left, so we're almost going. Reese, could you dunk on Angloid? I'm pretty sure I could step on him, and it would be like when when you're driving a car, and you have your foot, and it's like that, and then you lift it up to go on the accelerator. You lift up the foot on the clutch. When I lift my foot up like that, it's above Angloid's head. Yes, I could dunk on him. Reese, why don't you let people up? I don't know. The chat's just well zesty today. Should I? Fuck it. I'll just do it. Let's just go for some people. We'll do should we do one question go or some shit? We could do that like KSI does. There's the thing. These people just don't. They don't sing to me, Paolo. Oh my god. I'm fanning out. No, I'm fanning out. No, she's gone. No, come back. Oh, Lydia, come back, please. Can't believe it. Reese, I've donated over 250 to Nick. Oh, stop. Please, stop. Oh, my God. What is this? Is this some, Oh, my God. Please. Give it to me. Give it to me, man. Please. Oh, my God. Stop giving it to fucking gay Mexicans. Give it to me. Give it to... No, okay. Or give it to a charity, bro. No, fuck it. Give it to a charity or some shit, man. Don't give it to... Oh, my God. I like Anglo. He takes money from our donors. For real? Say it ain't so. Soul, you tap Kemi Badnock. Elise is... Okay. Reese, would you either tag team Soul... Oh my god. Please. Oh my god. No, but actually though. No, but actually, can you stop? Can you please stop? Oh my god, please stop. Okay, have we calmed down now? Reese, when we linking Elise and Shara for a double... Oh my god, no. Okay. Okay, we're cooked. Reese, when we link... Okay, would you tap Kemi Badenoch? Can someone please ban my name? Would you rather break up with Sarah or befriend Angloid? Reese, would you go with someone half English and half Balkan? Stop asking me these. What is that light behind me? Am I bugging out? Reese, I'll send you a universe if you hit the grid. No, I actually don't want money. And the thing is, I've said this many times. I don't want people's money. Don't give me money. I really despise the people who ask for donations. I'm only saying it because, you know, he's giving it to some homosexual Mexican. You might as well give it to me. But I'm a very privileged person from Surrey. So taking donations on the internet is really not the right thing to do. Give it to a charity or keep it. Don't give me money. You know. I would give it you, Reese. Would you rather hump the wall? Oh my god. Reese also takes money from our donors. Okay. I'm glad you said that because I was hoping that Angloid doesn't take money from donors. Because you really don't need donors. You can just get a job. You know, people don't really realize this. People are like, hey man, buy me a coffee and support me. It's like, you can just get a job. You know. Angloid's behind me. This is why you'll never make it as a successful right-wing grifter. I know. I really could have been. There was a moment, honestly, on a serious level though, there was a moment where I could have really just metaphorically sold out. Because I've talked about it before where you are kind of controlled by the money. And I was added to the remigration group chat. It was then. It was when I got added to the remigration group chat. If anything, that was what kept me away. Because I was like, why have I been added to this group chat? This is not me. This is not why I shouldn't be in this group chat with these people. These people are all they're all freaks. I don't really like any of them, to be honest. But Angloid's alright, but because I could have stayed in that group chat and then just because basically what the grift is not being honest. That's effectively what it is not being honest and not condemning reform, not condemning Tommy Robinson, not condemning Zionism and Israel, and not appearing as though you might be a leftist, right? Because and only talking about one thing, which is immigration. That's effectively the grift. And that's what I could have technically done, because I could have never counter-signaled Steve Laws. I could have never counter-signaled Tommy Robinson or Reform or Israel. And I would have more money, and I could have put a buy me a coffee in my bio. I could have been getting amplified by Steve Laws and these other people. But that's a big price to pay. That's a huge price. That's like, well, it depends on who you are as a person, but for me, that's a big price. That's a huge price to pay. And that's not why I'm doing this in the first place. If you are if you are a theatre kid and you want to be famous, then it makes sense. And you want to be in front of a camera and you want to appear on whatever, on podcasts, and you want to be platformed, then it kind of makes sense. But if you're just on doing this because, it's genuine concern and you see no other option, like me, then you're not going to do that. And so this isn't like a humble brag or anything. I'm just being honest with you. So, but it is true, right, that I will never make it as a right-wing grifter because that's just not who I am. So, I'm not trying to flex though. It's just kind of like, yeah. Why? Why am I getting Sarah up? Why is Steve Laws bad? Oh, I can't be asked to explain that again. My opinion on what happened with Renee Good is it's a skill issue on the ICE agent's part. The woman shouldn't be dead. It wasn't justified, and the ICE agent should have been better. Shouldn't have resorted to shooting her 3 times. The woman, again, it's a skill issue on the woman's part, partly because she shouldn't have been there agitating, but the main liability, in my opinion, falls on the ICE agent. And if you're a right-wing grifter, you're not really allowed to say that. So, is Angloid grifting or is he retard? That's a good question. I'd like to give him the benefit of the doubt because he's young, but I don't know. Okay, I'll get Sarah up and then we'll call it a day.
Hello? I'll actually be
Hello.
serious this time. No laughing, no nothing. I'm not even going to smile.
Okay.
What's your... Because now I'm like... I don't know if you have the same opinion, but what's your opinion like on feminism now? I'm getting you back to like serious debates.
I believe that feminism started off reasonable, but it became co-opted by some people say Jews, maybe, and
In the
it
like
kind of,
beginning, like the first... I don't know the specific waves, but I guess it's like first wave was like racist, and then it's like the second wave, da-da-da-da.
well, I think that equal rights is reasonable and equal job opportunities is also reasonable, but I think where it got kind of co-opted and manipulated was like getting women away from the family and getting them into the workplace so that they could take more tax and raise the kids themselves via state
Or even that,
sanctioned
just like
education.
that's like the basis of feminism. It's like I get to choose where I want to be a housewife, or I want to, or if I want to be a career lady. Do you know what I mean? I get that choice. Why is that? Like,
Yeah, but I think that yeah, but it's not really like that anymore
what do you mean it's not like that anymore?
because women are required to work now.
Oh, like what? To like have like a stable income and like have families and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, but like what's the point of like? So then you wouldn't say you're a feminist then?
No, probably not.
But why? Like, but why? Like not? Like, if you think what's it called, men and women are equal, then it's like why wouldn't you be?
I don't think they're equal.
What's the difference? What would be the difference between me and you?
Many differences.
No.
Yes.
Oh, okay, like physical. Okay, sure, but like not really anything.
Mental.
Like, what's mental like different between us?
The way that we think.
How? What's the difference between how I think and what you think?
Well, I think that you are much better at raising and nurturing children. Much
But I
more,
think-
much more empathetic.
I think that's like a really silly like stereotype though. Like I don't know. I work in a nursery. Men work with me. Like men can be just as like nurturing as the women can be with children.
Well, men and women can be the same height, but generally men are taller.
Yeah, but if we're like that's why I'd be like physical. Yeah, sure, I'll give you that one. Then it's like
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, as an example, in some cases there can be men that are nurturing, but generally speaking, women are more nurturing.
but where did that even come from? Women are more nurturing.
The fact that you raised them baby in your womb.
Yeah, but then like women also have like what's that thing after pregnancy that they get like really depressed and sometimes it's like they think their child isn't theirs. I don't know what it's called, but it's like a phenomenon. I think that's the word.
That would be a disorder, and that's not really orderly. Yeah, that's not orderly. That's not how it's supposed to go. Postpartum depression.
Yeah. But like obviously it's not, but it's still like, do you know what I mean? I think that kind of like that stereotype is like harmful in the sense that it's like sometimes like in like divorce settlements, it's like it's more likely the woman's gonna get like full custody of the child rather than the dad.
Yeah, and I think that's right.
You think that's right?
100%. Yeah.
What? Even if like even if the mom was like really abusive and like the dad was like the way to go.
No, there are exceptions, but generally, the especially if it's young children, the young children definitely should be going with the woman.
I don't know. I just think that's so silly. Then like what's school? Then like what would you do? Like what like? Oh, how do I say this? What part in like parenting do you have then?
Discipline.
Is that it? Like good cop, bad cop?
Partly, well, it's not only that, but I think that discipline is one of the core tenets of a father and one of the core reasons for a father. And I think that's why when there are fatherless women are more likely to go into prostitution, for example.
Oh, but that's just more like daddy issues and stuff, and it's like a father figure, and like
Exactly, and the father figure, what the father figure is providing is discipline. And when I was younger, this is just an anecdote, obviously, but my mum, if I would do some dumb shit at home, my mum would say, "You wait till your dad gets in, because my dad's gonna get in and tell me off proper."
But why
My
weren't you
mum-
like as scared as your mum as you were like your dad? Do you know what I mean?
I don't think anyone is as scared of their mum as they are their dad.
No,
I mean,
was
if
scared more of my mum. Oh, it was terrifying.
well, yeah, it depends. Depends on the individual situation, but generally, I think maybe would be a better way of saying it. Generally, people are more, or children are more intimidated by their dad telling them off. Maybe that's not right, but I would say that that's true.
But is that not like kind of like, I don't know, because I just like imagine like when people like talk about that and they talk about their like dads like hitting them and stuff, and it's like, oh,
It's not even that you're.
oh Jesus. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, oops. Sorry. I didn't know my typing was that loud. It feels kind of weird. I don't like here being up by myself. Oof. Oh yeah. Dun, dun, dun. Welcome, welcome. My name's Reese. I'm actually kind of scared now. Like, what am I doing here? What the hell? But if his battery ran out, shouldn't like the live just like automatically end? If you search, it's poor, able, disabled, no resources, who are most likely to be a prosy. So how do I bring? Oh, I can't. I'm not a mod. Loki, if I was a mod, I would. If you search, it's poor, disabled. Oh. Oh, it's kind of fun. It was like being Reese for like a day.
Can you hear me?
Hello?
My phone died. I've got to go now. I can't speak when someone's up. But whilst it's charging, so I gotta go. They're not silencing me. My phone just died. Calm down. We'll do another debate tomorrow. Thank you, Gracie. Thank you, Gracie. Appreciate you. All right, I gotta go. Okay, let's go. All right.